And that's why I think she is using Christianity as a shield. And I'm sad for you, Ayaan Hirsi ALi. So I became disappointed on some of the stances that Ayaan Hirsi ALi has taken. It's Brandi's World. Hello, hello, and thank you for joining me. Today, we are going to talk about Ayaan Hirsi ALi. Ayaan Hirsi ALi. Well, who is that? And why are you talking about her, Brandi? Both good questions. Ayaan, for me, was a person I drew inspiration from. An author of several books, including Infidel, which to me was a source of inspiration. Ayaan Hirsi ALi was born in Somalia in 1969. Her father was a political refugee who escaped Somalia and escaped prison in around 1979, 1980 in that time, and they ended up migrating to Kenya, and that's where Ayaan Hirsi ALi spent her teenage years. And Ayaan Hirsi ALi was raised Muslim. She was assigned Muslim as a small child. She grew up and was indoctrinated into Islamic culture. And when she was still a preteen, right around that, maybe 13, I think, somewhere in that age group, 11 to 13, her and her sister were held down by their family members. Their grandmother and aunts held them down while they were mutilated. Their genitals were mutilated. They had female circumcision performed on them they did not consent to or was not aware of until it happened. They were attacked by their family and their genitals were mutilated without any say of their own. She experienced many atrocities in her life as a young person. But Ayaan Hirsi ALi thrived through all of the atrocities that were thrown at her. She was controlled by the men in her family. She escaped that. She was forced into a marriage that she did not consent to or want to be part of by the men in her life, her father and her brothers. And when it came to a boiling point, when she stood up and said to herself that she's going to live her true life and she's not going to conform to the labels that she was assigned to and the culture that she was assigned to and the religion that she was assigned to, and she was going to make her own path in life, she fled from that arranged marriage before it happened, and on a layover flight in the Netherlands, she became a political refugee. And through the refugee program she went through, she put herself through school and later became a member of the Dutch Parliament. Ayaan Hirsi ALi became a very powerful voice and activist for women's rights, for human rights, against fundamental Islam, against atrocities towards women. She became members of multiple think tanks across Europe and the United States. She's a very accomplished and very intelligent woman. So Brandi, why are you talking about her so much? Why was she so inspirational for you? For me, when I discovered my gender identity, and decided immediately that I need to express it, that I was not going to stifle my identity, that I was not going to ignore my identity. When I discovered my identity, I promised myself to express it. And that's what I've been doing. And when society pushes back on me and puts a crushing weight of social inequality onto me and social bashing onto me, it's rough, and many times I need to look for inspiration. Fell in love with a book. I recall reading Infidel and just being so in awe of the strength and bravery of this woman, Ayaan Hirsi ALi. She told her story so beautifully in that book. And her journey is so inspirational. I look back to it time and time again. She escaped from everything she knew in life. She gave up everything. She gave up her family, her friends, everyone she ever knew in life, because she wanted to live her true life and not be forced to live a life assigned to her. I took so much inspiration from that. When I discovered myself, instantly I knew my name was Brandi. Instantly, Brandi was the only name that came to me. But then when I started to do legal paperwork to change my name, I was like, oh, that middle name's not gonna work for me. That's a dead name. That my assigned first name is a dead name. My assigned middle name was a dead name. And I thought long and hard about my middle name, because when I needed to think about inspiration, because your middle name doesn't always come up, not in our culture, not all the time. For me, I wanted a middle name that I didn't always tell people, but when I thought about it, it was a source of inspiration for me. And I was like, yes, I'm proud of that name. And I was so proud when in 2016, when I got my name legally changed to Brandi Ayaan Beckett. I was so happy. And then a few years later, I start to hear rumors, and then I start to read a few articles and hear a few things about Ayaan Hirsi ALi not being so nice to trans people. I honestly ignored it because I didn't want it to be true, and it became harder and harder to ignore. And then when she starts writing about athletes who happen to be trans, and not writing them in a nice light or even appreciating the journey they're going through, knowing that your journey, Ayaan, was unique. Your journey, Ayaan, is not the same journey that could be told across any other place. It's your unique story, and it's an awesome, great story. But so are other people's stories. It doesn't mean you should reduce, modify, shrink, or ignore their identity. You took a journey to get to your identity, didn't you, Ayaan Hirsi ALi? Because those aren't your assigned names either, are they? She took that name. Ayaan Hirsi ALi was not her assigned name, so she has literally changed her identity, and she wants to bash trans people who basically take similar journeys into their womanhood or their manhood. Into your womanhood was a unique journey, and so is my journey into womanhood, and so is Leah Thompson, the swimmers, whose article you wrote about. That woman's journey into womanhood is her journey, her story. So how dare you bash them for having a story that doesn't fit the mold you hoped it would fit? Because your story doesn't fit molds people around you hoped it would fit either. So I became disappointed on some of the stances that Ayaan Hirsi ALi has taken in the last so many years. And now she made a big announcement that she is now Christian, which, okay. Why? Why are you Christian now, Ayaan Hirsi ALi? Did you have good, solid evidence that the Christian God is real and interacts in people's lives? I read her letter of why she is now a Christian. Why does Ayaan Hirsi ALi call herself a Christian? Not necessarily because she thinks it's a true religion. In fact, she even talks in that letter, says she doesn't really know much about Christianity, but she's learning more every Sunday. She has converted to Christianity for fear. And I think to use as a social shield. I think that she's aligning herself as a Christian because it stands up against social movements that she is not in favor of. Kind of like my enemy's enemy is my friend, so therefore I join them. Ayaan talks about in her letter that she fears Chinese communism taking over much of the world. She also fears fundamental Islam taking over much of the world. So Ayaan also states that one of the reasons is because of woke. Because of woke. And what does that mean? She's against woke. I'm not sure what it means to be woke. If you ask 10 people what it means to be woke, you're probably going to get about 20 different answers to what it means to be woke. I think woke comes from, or the roots, we'll say the basal of the term woke is it's talking about social injustice, all right? If you look around and say there's social injustice around me, that's not good. I'm going to wake up and see that. There's social inequality around me. I'm waking up to seeing that. There are social justices that are not being carried out. I'm woke to inequality in social movements. I think that's basically where the origins of woke comes from. But it has been modified from those origins and twisted and applied to just about anything that people don't agree with. It seems to fall into this catch-all of wokeism. If you don't agree with people who protest the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States of America and they take a knee, you don't like that's woke. If a transgender person wants to play sports and you don't think that's something you want, it's woke. It's woke to do anything society that you don't think people should be doing, ideas you don't think people should have, policies you don't think people should use, or rights. Those are all woke. It's just a generic label to assign to things you don't agree with. And so that's one of her reasons. One of her reasons is because of woke, which means, who knows? Who knows what woke means to her? What is woke and what is not woke? It means things she doesn't like. And that's why I think she is using Christianity as a shield. Not the teachings of Jesus as a shield. Not Jesus, son of Mary and Joseph, who come from Nazareth. Not Jesus of Nazareth from 2,000 years ago. Not that dude's ideas and thoughts and teachings. Because if you only pay attention to what we understand are his teachings, Jesus's teachings, a lot of those probably be called woke in today's social climate. Jesus's teachings don't always reflect what today's Christianity is. But they like to use his name on a shield that protects them and allows them to spew out venom. That's what I think is going on here. Ayaan Hirsi ALi, you are using Christianity as a shield to spew out hate or ignorance or willful ignorance. You are using Christianity as a shield so you can spew out ignorance and or hate towards trans people and other social movements you don't agree with. And it makes me sad. Because Christianity is a very good shield. Look at all of the hate that gets spewed out and hidden behind on that shield. You can pile up plenty of ignorance and plenty of hate behind that shield, and it will be protected. So if that was your goal, if your goal is to stand there and not be attacked because you stand on top of ignorance and hate, or maybe you're even spewing it yourself, maybe you're even creating it, I don't know, but you're standing behind a shield that is protecting it. You're being protected for hate, and I am afraid, I am scared that this shield is going to allow you to use your powerful voice and powerful platform to spew out more ignorance and hate towards the transgender community. And that makes me sad. And quite frankly, it makes me embarrassed that I named myself after you. I'm very proud of the journey that you've gone through, and I admire that. I admire all that you have accomplished. But I'm sad and embarrassed that you've taken up a shield and you're spewing out ignorance and hate and standing behind that shield now. And that is sad. I'm sad for me, and I'm sad for you, Ayaan Hirsi ALi. I'm going to wrap this up for now. Until next time, love yourself, but more importantly, like yourself, and treat people the way they want to be treated. Bye-bye for now.